Hey everybody, welcome back to Magic Orthodoxy. My name's David, and this is a magic review. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for being here. Got another one from Conjuring Lab. Conjuring Lab was gracious enough to me after this last big magic convention to send me a couple of their tricks, kind of introduce me to the company, and I can't wait to show you all the cool things they sent me. One of those was Acronym. Now, Acronym came out a while ago. I know there's even been some other reviewers that have reviewed it. Please go watch them, see what they had to say as well. But I want to make it crystal clear, okay? This is not an app. This is not an app, all right? So it is $100, all right? It is $100, and it's gonna feel like an app in every way. It's gonna feel like you are doing app magic, except for this one caveat. You will borrow the spectator's phone. Right in front of them, you will type in the letters for Wikipedia and bring up Wikipedia. They will see Wikipedia. You will, right in front of them, hit the search feature, okay, and type in a search word right in front of them. And then as soon as that takes place, you hand the phone back to the spectator. They do all the work. You will do your revelation. They can put their phone in their pocket. Later on, if they choose, they could go back through their search history and they will find nothing but the link to Wikipedia. That's it. That is it. It ends clean, ends spotless. Nothing for them to find. Happens right in front of them. They will not think anything of it. And it's a killer premise. You want me to tell you what happens? So what happens in Acronym? In Acronym, what you're going to do is you're going to have the spectator take an imaginary die or a real die, doesn't really matter, and they're going to roll it and they're going to pick a number, all right? They're going to pick a number between 1 and 6. Or you could just say pick a number between 1 and 6. It really doesn't matter. And you say, okay, we're going to do something really fun with that number, and I got my pencil and pad here. We'll do something fun with that number, but first, we want to find some random words, okay? And we're going to use Wikipedia. It's like the online dictionary, right? You'll have them open their phone, bring up the browser, you'll take it from them really fast, type in Wikipedia in front of them, okay? You'll bring up Wikipedia, you'll go to your first search, it could be like, basset hounds or whatever, and you'll hand it to them. And you'll say, of all the clickable links there, all the hyperlinks, right? Just click any one that strikes your fancy. They click one and it says asparagus, right? So you write down on your paper, asparagus. Now, as they click those links, every single word will be different because Wikipedia highlights different words on every page. So you're guising this as, we're just getting a bunch of random words, right? And it seems like a very logical way to get a bunch of random words. We're not reading the Wikipedia pages, we're just scrolling, clicking, scrolling, clicking, scrolling, clicking like that. You're doing this quickly. You're writing down 5 words, okay? Or 4, it doesn't even matter. There's gonna be a random set of words every time with every spectator, right? So I'm working with John, let's say, okay? And he's done his 4, right? And so I say, hey, we got your 4 random words. We never would have expected that you'd pick these words. What was the number that you rolled again? And they say 3. Say, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna circle the 3rd letter of every word. And as you circle those 4 letters, it spells out J-O-H-N, their name. Yeah, their name. And like I said, their phone is already turned off back in their pocket, or it's still in their hand, it doesn't matter, right? They could go back to it, try to hit the backspace and go back through it. Nothing will be there. It'll be completely different. Any history of what you did will be gone. And it is not an app. There's nothing to set up on their phone, nothing to install on their phone. Your phone in your pocket isn't talking to their phone. You're not creating a hack link to their phone, nothing like that. It's going to work on anybody's phone. It's going to work on Droid. It's going to work on iPhone. It's not an app. All right, so since it's not an app, what do you get for your $100? You get access to your custom browser page. So you will have access to a custom browser page where you will be able to choose some of the initial logins that you do, okay? But it's all disguised, like we said. They can't catch you out. They can't see what you're doing. It doesn't matter what you type. Something else is appearing at the top of the screen. So as you type, spectators can't watch your thumbs. They're looking up at the top bar, and they're watching the correct words going across the top. It's magic. It really is magic. And like I said, you can reveal their name, right? You could reveal their name, or you could reveal a word that the two of you came up with, right? If you said, you know, let's come up with, like, you already know their name, right? John's been your friend for 100 years. So to reveal his name doesn't really mean anything to you. But you and he could say, let's make up a 5-letter word. Let's make up a 4-letter word. Or it could be a word that you guys came up with earlier, like from a book test, right? You could use a book test word that was earlier. Or this could be the revelation of the book test word. We haven't even discussed what that word was. You say, you know what, I never got that word earlier. You know, I got everybody else's word, but I didn't get yours. Let's do this little thing online. Let's try to find, let's build a different word with Wikipedia, right? And then it spells out their word, right? You make it the killer closer. The other thing you could do is you could put into the settings already a word ready to go. Okay, so let's say you wanted to reveal your own name, right? In the app settings, it's not an app. You could type, my name's David, right? You could type out David, and then when you went to go do the trick, every single time you do the trick, the links will just spell out David no matter what, right? And you could take off a step, and it would always do David. So you could have an ongoing force word all the time, and it would actually be less button thumbing for you, and it would always give you the same word. But if you wanted to make it more custom for each spectator, there's a little bit more button thumbing, but it's super, super easy. What else can I tell you? There's 6 videos, right? There's a performance video, there's a 5-minute quick start video. They're gonna talk to you about how to go to the alternate Wikipedia. They'll tell you that their preferred browsers are Safari or Chrome. They'll talk to you about how to activate and motivate kind of like the first search word you use, how to guide the spectator through the process, and then they'll cover some custom settings. And I've heard it now works in Spanish, Italian, German, Dutch, and Portuguese. So that's pretty cool. Every single one of the videos is just the teacher talking directly to the camera, and the 5-minute quick start video is the longest one out of all of them. So all the rest of the videos are shorter than 5 minutes because it's just that easy. It is just that easy because, like I said, it's not an app. It's not an app. It's just you remembering how to do it. And half of that is the setup that you do before you even start. Because literally after you go to Wikipedia and do that first initial search and arrive at Basset Hounds or whatever you want, Angela Bassett, that was weird. It's a random tangent. You hand this phone to the spectator. And then the web browser and the spectator are doing everything. All you're doing is writing down words, right? You're just writing down words and then reminding them, what was the number you rolled? 2? Okay, well, the second letter on every single one of these words spells out magic, right? M-A-G-I-C. See, magic. It's that clean. And you always have it on you because it's in your head, right? Never will anyone ever be able to say, do you have a trick on you? And you're like, oh, I don't have a trick on me. Everyone has their phone. So you're not, you know how we say like, oh, it's an app you carry on your phone and you'll always have it with you. This is an app you always carry on the spectator's phone and they'll always have it with them. You say, hey, you know what? Instead of doing something with, deck of cards or something I've got, let's do something else. Let's get your phone. You ever used Wikipedia before? You know how they always have like random words and you can just, it's like a dictionary, right? So this is a trick I usually do with a dictionary, but I don't have a dictionary on me. Let's use Wikipedia. Bam. And then you end up spelling out their name. Even cooler is if you've heard somebody mention their name, but you haven't actually said it yet. and then you spell it out and you say, your name is John, right? Yeah, I know we've never met, but your name's John, right? Boom, right? You're gonna destroy them. Destroy them. Positives, it's not an app, right? It's not an app. Works on any phone. Even if you don't know their name, you can force any force word. The history can't be found, so it's completely examinable, no matter what you do. Negatives are, the teachers at Conjuring Lab usually have a very thick French accent, so you really have to dial in and listen to what they're saying, right? And there's no subtitles on any of the videos, nor are the videos able to be downloaded, which I always wish that you could download the videos just so that you can have it on your computer, so you don't have to go back and find it again. Also, if you look too closely at the Wikipedia pages, you'll notice that they're just computer-generated sentences. They are sentences. The sentences do make sense, but they don't necessarily talk about what the subject matter is. But in reality, you're scrolling down. And the more you scroll down in those pages, the more the topic has shifted, right? Because now you're talking about history, or now you've moved on to something in agriculture, or now you've moved on to the region in which that thing grows. You're not asking the spectator to read the Wikipedia page. You're saying, we're gonna find 5 words. You just tell them that in advance. We're gonna find 5 words. You're gonna click on 5 random hyperlinks and I'm gonna write them down, okay? Go. Oranges, galoshes, right? Basset hounds. Why am I stuck on basset hounds? I don't even have a basset hound. I don't even have a dog, right? Rutabaga, right? Okay, I got my 5 words. That's all, that's it. We're not sitting there saying, read the Wikipedia page. Nobody's gonna do that, okay? You're moving them through this. You're telling them the goal, you're telling them the end game in ahead of time, right? We're looking for 5 words, 5 subjects. We're just gonna write them down real quick, okay? That's it, yeah, so yeah, you'll be fine. I did say it was $99, right? You can buy it at some USA retailers, okay? So you might wanna go look at that, but otherwise, I know you can get it at Conjuring Lab, right? Absolutely. Wait, I'm showing you the website before I tell you one more thing. Hang on a minute. What about IMF? What is IMF? IMF is an add-on. So IMF is an add-on that you can add on to Acronym, and it is $45, I believe. So for an additional $45, you can add a kicker ending. Now, this is a multiple out wallet, all right, that you will get along with it. But for the most part, it's something that you can do mentally. You don't need the wallet, but for your $45, they will give you a multiple out wallet. But what IMF is, and this is exclusively for Acronym users. You're not going to buy this unless you have Acronym. Let's say your back was to the spectator, all right? And they were just calling out the words to you. So your back is to them. They're calling out Angela Bassett, Rutabaga, jet plane, and you're writing those words down. When they land on their last link, there's going to be some options for new, right? More links. And you're going to say, there's a couple of links there on the page, right? And they say yes. And then you'll guide them through clicking on one of those and then remembering the subject that they're looking at. They had multiple options. They're going to pick one, and you, with a couple of fishing questions, are going to name it without seeing it. So that in itself is amazing, right? And you can do that revelation whenever. You can do that revelation before or after, okay? So again, IMF is an add-on so that you're adding on one more part to the Acronym routine. They're going to look at some random links. They're going to click on one of them. They had a multiple choice. You're going to do a couple of fishing questions to find out which direction they went. And then you can reveal that also with your back turned. And it has nothing to do with the words that you wrote down. It's a completely separate trick that they're just adding on. And then every single thing that we've said earlier about history and inspectability and all that stuff still applies. And you get the fun little multiple out wallet as well, right? Now you can head on down to Conjuring Lab. And I want to thank them for allowing me to have this so I can do the review for you. I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey, and lastly, I would like to remind you that mine is not the only voice out there. When making a magic purchase, Be sure to watch other review channels to get a well-rounded opinion. Please don't take my word for it. I am just one voice. There are plenty of other fantastic review channels out there, and you should be listening to all of them. I've included several of my favorite channels here, but I'm sure you know of a few others. Please do yourself a favor and subscribe and follow these talented people as well, so that you're always making the best purchase possible that fits your style and your character. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.